Hey everybody, thank you for joining me. I know we took a couple weeks off of our weekly Success Builder calls, but we did have our annual conference, so we were prepping for that, and we have now returned. And I am happy to have on today's call our NAM president as of October 1, Kimber White. Hey,
Hey,
Kimber.
Valerie, how are you? Yeah, glad
Uh,
to be back too.
yeah. I don't know about you, but I am tired.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it was whirlwind.
Yeah. So I thought I would have Kimber on today's call to kind of do a little recap of NAM National and talk to us a little bit about what is coming up with NAM. I know we have another event in January that we hope all of you can join us. So, Kimber, what would be your couple of your takeaways from our national conference?
Well, NAM National this year, as we've talked, was the largest we've had in almost 20 years. We had over 2,300 attendees, over 2,900 registered, over 125 booths. The buzz, the education that we had, I think that for me, what I wanted was everyone to just be able to bring away something that they could use in their business because NAM is about education, not just having fun, and they did. But at the same time, they had fun. I mean, we had our DJ, we had, parties. It's just energy. I've never felt that type of energy in years. The energy that we had, the excitement, the from people saying that they had education, they felt like that they got something out of it. I think that was very important to me. That people really felt that they got something out of it they can use in their business.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, we obviously worked really hard to kind of have a I won't say a fast pace, but always something going on
Yeah,
that the attendee could choose from, whether they wanted, if they did want to attend the 8-hour CE class, great. They wanted to go to some of the parties, if they wanted to meet with new wholesale lenders or vendor partners, or of course, our variety of speakers. I think there was something for everybody.
yeah, it did. I mean, and it still proved that we're the largest mortgage broker trade show that there is, and that we have the highest and most energy. I think to me that just was an powerful impact to our industry to see that and everyone coming together. I think the biggest thing was the camaraderie and that people were actually talking and they, you know, trying to figure out how to work together, what they could do for the future. I can't say enough about the energy.
Yeah, excuse me. I think also too uh kind of showed that NAM isn't skewing towards just one age group. That, there were people there in their mid-20s all the way to our more seasoned loan originators. So there was a wide variety, and I think there might have almost been more of our young professionals there than we probably have ever had before.
Yeah, no, I think that it just shows where our industry is turning. We have the young professionals, and the people are not all about sales, which to me is very important, very important. One of my platforms is educating, as I've said before, that we need more education in our industry, that anyone can sell, but what they can't do is retain and and the education is important about that. We have lots of salesmen, people can sell cars, but what you can't do is this isn't all about selling. This is actually education, educating your borrowers and you yourself being educated so you have a longevity and a career, not just a sales job. And I think that is why you have so many young people coming to NAM National this year, is because I really think people are eager to be educated and to learn. I think education outshined itself this year. And the young people, yeah, I think we have more young people, honestly, than we had, the olders, which, used to be NAM's the old fuddy-duddy group. Definitely not this year. It was more younger, 20s and 30s, and you could see their energy and passion. So
Yeah, I agree. And I think we had more vendor parties this year too than we have had in the past.
Yeah, we had a lot
I
of vendor parties that people were able to do on Saturday night. I think we had 7, 8 vendor parties, and they were all attended well. People were able to network and talk, and I saw that. And I really saw a lot of that happening. And it just really, to me, led off into kick into my education thing that I have this year, is to educate and do more educational value and make sure that NAM continues to lead and be in that educational value that we give to each one of you on here.
So this event sort of like kicks off your presidency.
Yeah.
What are some of your goals or things that you would like to accomplish? For those of you that don't know, Kimber, this is his second time. The first time, unfortunately, during COVID, we did have a conference that year. It was our one and only, and hopefully never to be repeated again, virtual conference, because that was probably more work than a live conference. And Kimber had to give his speech on top of a box with a ring light sort of shining on. It was not a pretty sight, but hey, what are
To
you
be
gonna do?
exact, it was a
When you
beer
have a
box.
pandemic, you make things work, and so we made
to,
things work. But
yeah, to be exact, it was a beer box with a tablecloth over it. So it
we hit
was
it well
such a
though.
it was quite the and I had a ring light. Yeah, that's when we were all learning lighting back then. So you can only imagine the ring light, tablecloth, beer box, and a computer screen in front of me on the laptop. It was
Yeah.
quite but we made it and we did it. So we adapted, which is what we do in our industry. I think for me, I said in my speech that it's about all of us coming together and working together. The biggest thing we rolled out and we talked about was a mentoring group that there's so many people that there's lots of uh, education and coaching out there, but it's money, and a lot of people. We're just now coming back. There is not a lot of money. We don't have a lot of money to came back. We came off a year, one of the toughest years that we've ever had. I mean, I heard through our trade show and another one I went to that people have put this year in the past 2 years as technically worse than '08 because we knew what was going to happen to us in '08. We were all broke. We had nothing. It was it. That's what it was. There was implosion. There was implodometers. There was nothing. It was totally rebuilding. And we didn't have the economy and the issues that we had the past years. If we've survived the numbers, every one of you on here and everyone survived, congratulations. You've made it. You've made it through, in my opinion, the toughest I've seen in my 39 years in this business. And Valerie, you've heard me say that. I just, you have survived. You are the professionals that's left here. Now let's hone our game and move forward. And let's bring more professionals into the industry. Let's get more out of retail into loan originating, into the broker channel. And that's what we want to do. So the mentoring, we've got a mentoring. So whether you need just one course or you just need someone to talk to, I mean, we go to these events and then when we end up, we go back to our cocoons, as I call it. We sit behind a computer screen because we believe in AI and what AI is all about. And that's great, but we don't have the ability to talk to others. And I think you may just need a coach to talk to you. You may just need someone to go through a problem that you're having. You may just can't get across that next time. You're new in the industry. You need some educational tools. You need some classes, but you really can't afford to pay $2,000 a month to a coach or $1,000. Yeah, it may be the best investment into your business, but when you're crawling before you can walk, and what we've been through, you likely can't even afford that $500 investment to get started. This is a kickstart for you. I think this is what that it's about. And I think the mentoring program has got some great professionals who are coaches. And that's what amazes me. They're taking their time that they're from their businesses and going to help coach for free. And I think that is a good kickoff and that's a start. So the coaching is important to me. The educational class, the CBLS, FHA class, the new credit class that we have. Then we're rolling up other certifications. I think the educational tool is a part of my advocacy in our industry. I've said my goals is discussing LLPA, W-2 versus 1099 is very important to me. LOCOMP, that's huge. We have to make sure we're part of the conversation of the loan originator comp. For those you don't know, loan originator comp was put as part of CFPB, and that came along because if we had Dodd-Frank, it's very draconian, and some of us may not be here if that ever went back, which I don't think that's ever going to happen, but we need to be a part of that conversation. We need to be part of it. Also, for me, affordable housing. And Valerie, you've known me 13 years. For me, affordable housing is important. Affordable housing isn't under 80% AMI, higher median income. Affordable housing, when we're looking at what builders are building, is 120%, which is up to 120, $130,000. We need to get that. We need programs. We don't need programs that just take care of one sector, which is, the lower moderate income. Because actually, we have the largest wealth inequality gap that we've had in the history of the United States. We may have had 16% interest rates, and as I said, in the 80s. But the difference is the income kept up with the inflation. It doesn't do that now. So we need to have solutions in that. With that, we need to have the solutions with insurance. Those need to be done. So there's a lot of this small initiative and making sure that we get more educational programs. It's a big plate, but we're gonna get it done.
And leading into education, we have our next in-person event. Hard to believe. It is.
2 months, 3 months.
Yeah, 2.5 months away.
Yeah.
Which is NAM Focus it's in Orlando again, January 15th to the 17th. We're at a new venue. It's Rose and Shingle Creek. If you've never been there before, it's a beautiful resort. It has an amazing golf course, a lot of space. So we're really going to take all the buzz and excitement that we had with our speakers at NAM National and duplicate those at NAM Focus. We will have speakers there that we did not have at Focus, so that that we did not have at National. So even though you may have attended NAM National, you're going to get a completely different experience at NAM Focus.
Yeah, and NAM Focus is focus. The word, that's why we chose focus. And this is truly a focus on your business. It's a focus on the AI, education, communication. We're going to actually try. I think we're going to try to have one of our educational classes there. I think we're going to try to do that.
More than one. I think we're doing reverse. I think we're going to try to have them all if we can make it work. Reverse FHA and VA. So we're still finalizing those details.
And not just the exact, but we're working on a loan officer boot camp, which I think is going to be very important to roll out. Hopefully we'll roll out there at Focus, because I think that's very important to have loan officers and training in basics, because there's a lot of loan officers that don't know how to do a 1003, don't know how to do things, and there's technical issues, so it's going to go more deeper into that. And it's free. And once again, it's free. That is the thing that we believe in. And coming in is free, giving back to you. There's not a charge for it. NAM National is not a charge. Our vendors pay. We end up giving it to you. So that is, as far as the event itself, it's free. And it's 2 days of true learning about you, your business, helping your business, break out about your business. I love Focus because it's intimate, but we still have vendors that you can visit. We're going to have, we're going to have a non-QM panel. We're putting that on. To me, that's very big because non-QM is huge in our industry, but there's not a lot of education on it, how it's done. So that's exciting too.
Yeah, the one thing too I like about Focus is everything is just in one room.
Yep.
So you've got our exhibitors and vendor sponsors, plus our speaking sessions, plus all of our attendees. Everything is just in one room. So you don't have to worry about, am I going to miss something? No, everything is in the same room. So if you're in the room, you won't miss a darn thing.
And it's going to be bigger than last year.
Yeah, that's another, if you've gone to NAM Focus in the past at our prior venue, we really outgrew that space. So now we are in a much larger space. It really will kind of mimic what we have in our large ballroom at NAM National, because we know not everybody can fly from the East Coast, or even the Midwest to Vegas and the expense. So, you know, we want everyone to be able to take advantage of everything that we have to offer. So you mentioned about the mentoring. I know that we spent the last 45 to 60 days taking on mentor applications, which I
Yes.
know we will be reviewing those here shortly with our group. When will the mentees be able to, you know, what do you think our target date is for that? Mid-November, December
November
1?
15th. I'm looking at November 15th. Once we get our stuff up and running, I want to run with this. We want to go with it. Um, and there's a lot of other exciting stuff coming up with NAM. What we're talking about this year. I mean, we're going to be we'll be able to do some self-pay stuff and those type of things. So we're excited about that. Right now, it's mentees. I hope to start taking applications for mentees. In November 1st, and we can actually open up trying to do some mentorship by the end of November. But it's going to be on a lot of topics. Our mentors that we have applications for are such a wide range of mentors, and some of the top, I would say, the top in our industry, and great leaders and great communication. And I think to be able to offer this to you is going to be fantastic. And it doesn't have to be a mentor and mentee like you're talking about, where you have to go coaching every week, you have to do 3 times a week. I think it's going to be different. You can pick and choose. And I think that's what I like about what we're getting ready to do. And for me, NAM's focus is educating you, growing the membership, bringing in, making sure advocating for you. And so this is my second time around. And I have been in this business 39 years. I've been a broker all of that 39 years. So I have a love and a passion. Of course, all mortgage loan originators, but I have a passion for the brokers because I know what we've been through. I know what we're getting ready to turn the corner, guys, and make it possible. And that's what NAM wants to do it for you to move forward. And we're going to be here. We're going to be that educational tool. We're going to be the person, the group that's sitting there and doing what we need to make sure that you are successful. And not just selling, you're being successful. You're being successful in your business for longevity and long term. I didn't stay in this business 39 years out of just being a salesman. I stayed in this business being educated, knowledgeable, willing to adapt. And I can real quickly tell the story. And this reason I feel it's important for everyone here to understand education, adaptability, no matter your age. In 2017, 18, 19, we heard the word QM, non-QM. We really didn't know what non-QM is, but remember, I cut my teeth in what we call the old subprime business, with the Countrywides and the New Centuries and the Long Beaches, when they put their non-QM, they called them subprime days. And I'd always said, before I do that again, I'm going to go and flip hamburgers. So when someone said to me that we're going to do non-QM, I was like, not for me, let someone else do it. And in 2020, well, we all know we got so busy, but then 21 come along, we slowed down a little bit. I went to the trade show in 21, and I'll never forget, one of the vendors says, Kimber, you got to give us a try. And non-QM, and I started having clients calling me about non-QM, and I'm like, gosh, I don't want to do these loans. Should they even have a loan? These people. And to be honest, I started getting into non-QM, and I started learning non-QM, and I started getting educated, and NAM started having classes about non-QM. Today, Kimber, I'm going to flip hamburgers in 2017 and 18 in the mortgage of non-QM business. 41% of my business is non-QM today. So to me, that is letting you know that don't ever, ever not want to learn. And it's more important now than ever to learn with AI. AI is going to be your assistant. We want AI. I've heard more about AI over the last 3 weeks than I want to hear. But again, I'm going to still say AI is not a human. AI is not us. AI is a tool. If we use the tool, we do it right, which is an for educate, we're still going to be there. But I think the mentoring and education, that's my goal this year, is to use that example of, hey, I was the person that said, I'm never going to. Number one, don't ever say you're never going to, because you probably will. And the fact is, be willing and open-minded and willing to adapt. I've had to adapt in 2020, and by the way, my luck's still going. October 1st, the day I took presidency, that's the day the government shut down. So we're adapting to some of those changes too. So I didn't go without one crisis, but we're adapting to that, and we're going to be out front to lead that, and as far as the housing and making sure that we've got programs available, flood insurance and those type of things. We're going to still be the voice. So to me, come to Focus. If you're in Florida, it's going to be worth it. It's your education. You're going to get a lot. Get involved in the local trade associations and with NAM, because I'm telling you, this year is going to be a great year for us together.
Yeah, I think we've seen Barry speak a few times during our travels here the last couple weeks, and his message is pretty much the same, that I'll just knock on every piece of wood I have around, that 2026 is supposed to be an amazing year for loan originators. So, you know, now is the time to, you know, do that business plan, figure out, you know, reevaluate your software, look at the wholesale lenders that you're signed up with, see if you have new ones. And NAM Focus in January is a great place to do that. I also did put in the chat the link to NAM Elevate, which is our mentoring program. If you're interested in applying to be a mentor, which basically means that you are willing to give back to your community and help those who may need assistance free of charge, then you can go to that website and apply. You can see all the different tracks that we will make available to mentees. And so we'll be accepting mentor applications through the end of the week, if that's something that you're interested in. Kimber, anything you want to wrap up this call with?
No, I think everyone just know that we're here for you. If you're, you know, and we appreciate you. And we're here. If you have a question, you know, you can email us. You can give us a call at NAM. That's what we're here. We want to be your support. We want to be that person. We want to grow. If you know people that's in the industry and that's not a member of NAM, ask them to join, because you're going to get more value than I think it's 149. If you use a code, it's 99 for people. And if you remember, you get free CE. So I think it's $12 or something.
Yeah,
to do
just
that.
the NMLS reporting fee.
So you get your free CE. And just know that we're here to make sure that you can do your business better. And that we're there for you. It's about the member. It's about growth. That's what NAM's always been about. And over 50 years, and we're going to continue it this year.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. We will start doing these more regularly now that travel has slightly slowed up a bit. So I hope everybody makes this week a great success, and I look forward to seeing you November 3rd, our next weekly Success Builder call. So thanks, and hope you guys have a great day.
Thank you, everyone.